Hello, this is David Walmsley, and in this video I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add some animated typewriter effects to your Beaver Builder pages without needing a plugin, and all you need is a little bit of JavaScript which you can take from this site. Now I've set up two different pages, and on this page I've got three examples of a looping effect, so these endlessly loop with the same animation. But on my second page over here you are able to set it up so there is a delay which you set between the animations, so you can set that so effectively no visitor sees the animation more than once. Of course they see it when they load the page because that comes in instantly, but after that you can select this time. As you can see, it's just stop now to whatever time you like. So okay, I'm just going to talk you through each of these examples. Now in this case I'm not a JavaScript expert, so I just grabbed some code. I was able to attribute this one to somebody, but on the first example I'm going through, a few people effectively could claim it, and I've also made a few little adjustments myself, so if I find someone to attribute it to, I will do. Anyway, with my videos, as you may know, you can just come over to the demo site, log in, and then grab what you like. So once you've logged in on the front page, you can come to the correct module over here, go into Page Builder, and if you like you can save this as a template and export it for your own projects, or just come in and grab the code. Okay, so let's go through this first looping example. Let me go over to Tools and into Layout, CSS/JavaScript. Now here the JavaScript's placed in here and we don't need to touch it, it just does the job. I'll just quickly talk you through the CSS that I've placed in here. Most of it's just for styling for this page, but there are a couple of things worth pointing out. As we're using HTML modules over here, I wanted to make sure they were centered, so I added a custom class selector under the Advanced tab of the HTML modules and centered them here with this flex center. And the blinking cursor, that's not me swearing, the flashing cursor if you like, is also CSS. You can see it in effect here, it's just flashing. Now it's created here with a border right 2 pixel solid, and there's an animation here, and the blinking effect comes on over here. So you can remove what you don't want here, and in the actual second example on this page, you can see it down here, it is removed, and I've done that just by setting these to none. So that's pretty much the CSS. The rest of it you can just take a look at, but it's just for the styling on this page. Let's go and take a look at the actual HTML modules themselves. And again, below here I've put a quick note, so you should be able to work out how to change it. But you can change, using this thing here, the speed of the effect. So here it's set to 2000 on this one, which is kind of quite nice for something this length. On other ones I've set this one to 4, so there's a gap of roughly sort of 4 seconds in between this happening, and with it being small text maybe doesn't look quite as nice as that. So there's not quite as much as flexibility as I'd like, but it's a pretty good effect. And here is where we add the individual lines as well, so we need to make sure that we stick with it in our quotes here and keep everything intact as it is. And another thing to mention here is that if we want something like "it's here," I couldn't put a normal apostrophe in here or it would break the script, so I needed to make sure that it was a HTML one here. So you probably need to Google that if you're using something else, but that's something to be aware of. And that, I think, pretty much covers the looping effects on this one. So let's just go over to the second page where we can set the length on the loop, and as I say, I've got the instructions here, but let's go over on this page to Tools again, to Layout, CSS/JavaScript. Nothing to say on the CSS here, I'm just using the same thing again to center. Now here the JavaScript is where we do all of the work here, so we can actually set the text that's going to show, similar to the other example and the HTML module, but here it's in the JavaScript. So under this circumstance, you'd only be able to use this once on a page, obviously, because we've only got one JavaScript area in our Beaver Builder page, so we couldn't have this repeating unless we wanted exactly the same text to repeat somewhere else on the page. So the other things to look out for, as are in my instructions here, is we need to find this bit here, that's set to 120. We can change this to 200 if I wanted the typewriter effect to move a little bit slower. And if I want to set the animation delay before it restarts again, I need to change this one here. It's set at 20,000 at the moment, so there's a big pause before it comes on again. But as I say, you could just set this to a really high number and no visitor is likely to ever see that effect return again. So I think that's pretty much here. I'll just point out one other thing here. There is where I've placed my selector here. So I've got a custom class selector of type -2, and this will make sense when I go over to the HTML module itself. And this is what we have here. We just need to make sure that we've got that type 2 selector is placed within the module so it can display the effect. And in this case, I've just wrapped it in a header 1, but you could put it in a span tag or anything you like. So that's pretty much it. So I hope this was useful. Now, if you're not into this at all, I should really mention that there's a great type animation effect that's over at the Ultimate add-ons for Beaver Builder. So, you know, you might want to come and check out what theirs does. It does a similar thing, but it does a little bit more and gives you a bit more flexibility. So it's something that I have, but you know, I might use my own effect over here if I didn't want to put in the Ultimate add-ons for Beaver Builder on every project. But I say I want this type effect, so I wouldn't have the big plugin just for maybe one effect and would use this instead. Okay, that's me done. I hope this was useful. If there's anything that doesn't make sense, please leave me some comments, and yeah, please give me a like as well if you like it, and if you don't like it, then please let me know what I've done so wrong. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye bye.